dark side of the NBA, scandals and legal troubles. Did you know that there are some secret punishments in the NBA, like making players retire instead of giving them a lengthy ban? From iconic superstars getting retired to gambling investigations to draft picks night getting rigged and some image-crushing cheating scandals, these dark secrets of the NBA have shaped the dark side of NBA history. Cheating in the NBA has been one of the standout scandals that always shock fans. These unforgettable incidents in the world of basketball have changed its landscape forever. So meet this guy who ruled the NBA and became a famous rapper, movie star, TV analyst, and media personality. But here's something you might not know. This guy had a habit of cheating. Shaq got caught up in a cheating scandal with Laura Govan in 2012. Shaq's wife, Shawnee, accused him of being unfaithful to her and sleeping with Laura, who was engaged to Gilbert Arenas and had kids with him. It was a drama not only on the court, but also in their personal lives. The scandal got even messier when emails between Shaq and Laura, sharing explicit details about their secret meetings, surfaced online. This caused a lot of trouble, shaking up both couples' relationships and eventually leading to Shawnee filing for divorce. In a funny and wild twist, Laura came forward later, laughing off the entire cheating scandal with Shaq. She said, "No way! Have you seen his feet? How could you sleep with somebody that has feet like that?" Even though she denied it, Shaq's reputation as a womanizer stuck around. In his book, Shaq Uncut, he tried to justify his unfaithfulness by saying that many women were practically throwing themselves at him. But it doesn't stop there. The scandal between Indiana Pacers Paul George, Roy Hibbert, and their wives was so astonishing, leaving us in shock. During the 2014 playoffs, there were whispers of secret Instagram chats between Paul and Hibbert's wives. The plot thickens when it comes out that PG and Mrs. Hibbert were having more than just friendly talks. This caused a storm that shook Roy's game. But the NBA drama doesn't stop there. There's Tony Parker from the San Antonio Spurs. Forget the hoop action, he cheated on Eva Longoria with a teammate's wife. Text messages flew between Parker and Brent Barry's wife, ending in divorce for both couples. Another scandal that made our hearts race fast was that of Barbosa, a teammate of Steve Nash at the Phoenix Suns. This guy stirred up a whirlwind by having an affair with Nash's wife, Alejandra Amaria. Shockingly, just a day after Alejandra gave birth, Nash filed for divorce, suspecting Barbosa was the father. Meanwhile, a DNA test revealed it was another teammate, Jason Richardson, who had scored the real points. But let's not make judgment on that matter. Anyway, and leave it to one of the most well-known referees in the NBA, Mr. Tim Donaghy. You know, the kind of story that gives you goosebumps and makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. The NBA faced its worst nightmare, a gambling scandal that sent shockwaves through the courts. Tim Donaghy, a referee with insider info on referees, coaches, players, and even owners, decided to roll the dice. According to FBI reports, he wasn't just blowing the whistle. He was placing bets on professional basketball games. And guess what? ESPN spilled the beans that Donaghy had ties to organized crime. Now imagine the referee not just making bad calls, but actively swinging games and playoff series and turning the court into a drama-packed casino. Donaghy didn't just bet on any games, he bet on the ones he officiated. Talk about a double dribble of trouble. And the icing on the cake? He made the calls that affected the point spread. Can you believe it? But it gets crazier. Justice wasn't just sitting on the sidelines. Donaghy got a 15-month timeout in jail and 3 years of supervised release. During the big courtroom showdown, Donaghy, through his lawyers, dropped a bombshell. He alleged that some NBA playoff series were as fishy as a half-court shot. What's the dirt? A playoff game where fouls were ignored all just because it suited the NBA's interest in adding another game to the series? The game in question? None other than the legendary 2002 Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the Kings. This scandal changed the game, making us question what happens when the lights go out and the crowds go home. The scandals don't end there, there's more. But this time we're talking about the Rebound King, Tristan Thompson, who helped Cleveland snatch their first NBA championship in 2016. Tristan was a superhero on the court. He helped Cleveland climb out of a 1-3 hole to victory. Everyone was cheering, thinking, wow, this guy's going to be the next big thing. But off the court, Tristan's game took a hit. While his girlfriend Jordan Craig was pregnant and expecting a baby, he decided to shoot his shot with reality star Khloe Kardashian. Turns out Tristan couldn't resist a fast break. He went ahead and also cheated on Khloe when she was pregnant for him, leaving her for Lonnie Blair, an Instagram model and a strip club bartender. This guy was leaving baby mamas all over the place. However, people weren't applauding Tristan anymore. Social media exploded with backlash and boos echoed in a 2018 home game against the New York Knicks. Talking of the New York Knicks, the 1985 NBA Draft Lottery was a pivotal event. It was the first of its kind when the lottery system replaced the coin toss as the decider for who gets the top draft pick. Instead of using a lottery system of an old coin toss, they introduced this lottery thing to decide who gets the top pick in the draft. Sounds fair, right? Well, it turned out to be the most talked about event of the year. However, 7 teams were in this lottery draft, all with an equal chance to snag the first-round pick and choose the superstar Patrick Ewing. He's like the LeBron James of his time. Now forget about the fancy ping pong balls they use today. Back then, they threw large cards into a spinning tumbler and David Stern, the big shot, picked one out to make the big decision. But before the drum roll, Stan Kasten, the Atlanta Hawks general manager, spills the beans, shouting from the Hoops mountaintop that the whole thing is a setup. He claims the Knicks will win because they're the biggest deal in town. But here's where it gets even wilder. The lottery is organized by Ernst & Whinney, an accounting firm owned by the Knicks. Jack Wagner, one of the brainy partners, drops the envelopes into the drum, but he accidentally bangs one and leaves a tiny dent. Guess which envelope? The Knicks. Some folks even say they tossed that envelope into the freezer so Stern would know which one to pull. When Stern is grilled about this, he defends himself, asking, "Why would I risk a legal slam dunk? That's just plain crazy." Despite this, scandals and doping went high in the NBA, and the height of it was when some NBA players cheated the system in a big way. These ex-players tried to score big in a not-so-legal way. After shooting hoops and dunking their way through the NBA, retired players can enjoy sweet benefits like the NBA's Health and Welfare Benefit Plan. This health coverage was actually funded by those NBA teams we all cheer for. However, in 2002, NBC spilled the beans on 18 former superstars who were caught red-handed, scheming to pocket nearly $4 million from the pension plan. Interestingly, 16 former basketball stars found themselves in a colossal scam. They were in big trouble and charged with something called conspiracy to commit healthcare and wire fraud. One player, while slam dunking in Taiwan, tried to convince everyone he was getting a fancy root canal in Beverly Hills. But that's not all. A few other players got into this and claimed to have the same tooth procedure at the same time. People in charge of processing these claims were scratching their heads faster. I mean, how can players have the same tooth trouble at once? The suspicion level rose to 100. Terrence Williams, the mastermind of this commotion, played a different game off the court. He devised a scheme with fake invoices and claims, raking in a cool $230,000. He also went ahead pretending to be an agent, calling up other players and basically scaring them into handing over cash. In total, these hoop dreamers snagged about $2.5 million before the league blew the whistle. The NBA, not one to back down, promised to team up with investigators to get to the bottom of this crazy game. Now, let's get to the king himself. During his astonishing 21 seasons in the NBA to date, LeBron James faced some wild accusations. Bradley Martin was claiming King James was sipping some secret growth hormone potion. But you have to know that even in his 21st year in the NBA, with the Lakers cooking everyone in the league and the King being the head chef himself, nothing has been proven on that matter. The NBA is serious about those anti-doping rules. They test players left and right. Yet, Bradley still believes that LeBron staying forever young might be more than just having good genes. No hard evidence, just a wild guess that got everyone talking. Well, we guessed that the King is injecting himself with some LeJuice after all. Talking about GOATs, let's mention the time that the GOAT shocked us all. Michael Jordan's retirement shocked the whole NBA. In 1993, Jordan left the NBA after winning his 3rd consecutive title to try his hand at baseball. This move, retiring in his prime instead of solidifying his status as the greatest NBA player ever, went against what we all expected from the GOAT. Jordan says he switched to baseball to honor his late father's wishes. But here's the secret. His first retirement was kind of a secret suspension from then NBA Commissioner David Stern, who supposedly punished Jordan for his well-known gambling adventures. Things got intense in Jordan's personal life when he was seen in Atlantic City the night before a crucial Eastern Conference Finals game against the Knicks. Not only that, Jordan had an unpaid debt to another golf gambling partner, Richard Esquinas. At one point, Esquinas claimed that Jordan owed him over $1 million in the early 90s.